Season 2 of Wednesday has already been released, and it left us with a shocking ending. But as you know, this season will be split into 2 parts. The next one will arrive on September 3rd, and we all want to know what we'll see in it. In response, Netflix has already released some images and videos that are quite revealing. That's why today on Charlietales, we're going to analyze all the available information, and I'll tell you what we know about part 2 of the season. Ready? Let's begin. Let's start with the important part. What will happen to Wednesday? As we all know, part 1 ended with Wednesday being attacked by Tyler in his monster form. Wednesday literally went flying out of a window and was left in pretty bad shape. Netflix released a new trailer, and in it, we can see that Wednesday will be in a coma, with IV drips and medication. Curiously, Wednesday has her arms crossed as if she were a corpse. Even unconscious, she keeps her macabre essence. Wednesday's coma won't last long. In the same trailer, we see her waking up, but I do think she'll remain asleep for a good portion of the first episode. This will be used to give other characters the spotlight. Let's talk about Slurp. In the trailer, we see him with much more vitality. He has regenerated thanks to consuming many human brains. This place seems to be a Halloween fair. I say this because there are people wearing monster costumes. Slurp will be able to walk among them without a problem because they'll just think he's wearing a costume. According to the production team, Slurp will have his own storyline in part 2 and will be very relevant. To understand Slurp's future, we need to remember his past. We know he was a young genius who died in an accident with his own experiments. Most likely, he will fully regenerate and we'll see an almost human version of him. Slurp is played by actor Owen Painter. Here I'm showing you a picture of him so we can get an idea of how he'll look in part 2. I'm certain Slurp will be a villain. According to legend, he was a good guy, but became cold after implanting an artificial heart of his own design. That made him power-hungry. With this context, it's clear that he will try to continue with his plans. Slurp has a lot of potential to be a great villain. He was a Da Vinci, meaning an outcast with superintelligence. But in the legend, we were also told he had telekinesis. Here he's moving a notebook and a pencil with his mind. Slurp promises to be very dangerous in the future. Let's talk about Tyler. This character will obviously have major relevance in part 2. In episode 4, we saw how Tyler managed to escape thanks to Principal Turnhill, whom he eliminated with a single blow. Tyler escaped with one goal: to get revenge on Wednesday. That's why he put her in a coma, and surely, in part 2, we'll see him trying to finish the job. In Netflix's preview, we can see Tyler hiding in the sewers. This is probably after episode 4. Tyler will have to hide because the police are after him. In another picture, we see Tyler at the same fair where Slurp will be. Tyler is wearing a hood to hide from the police. He's probably looking for Wednesday to attack her. To wrap up Tyler's part, I have to tell you something important. It's very likely he'll have a tragic ending. In the asylum, Principal Turnhill warned us about something. She said that if a hide kills its master, it seals its own doom. Apparently there's something in hide mythology that binds them to their masters forever. Principal Turnhill was killed, so theoretically, Tyler's future will be dark. This matches statements from the production. On Netflix's official website, they published an article with important information about Wednesday. It says there that Tyler will lose his mind and we'll see him fighting with himself. One part of him will be violent and uncontrollable, but the other half will still keep some humanity. I'm one of those who think Tyler will redeem himself in the future. He'll join the good guys, but that doesn't mean he'll have a happy ending. It's possible he will regret his actions, but end up dying to protect Wednesday or something like that. Let's talk about the relationship between Enid and Agnes. According to the series director, these characters will have great importance in the future. Agnes was revealed to be Wednesday's stalker, obsessed with the protagonist and always trying to impress her. Because of this, she's become quite annoying to Enid. There's a small rivalry between both characters, and this will be explored further. Remember, Wednesday will be in a coma for a while, so we'll need new leads until she wakes up. Most likely, Agnes and Enid will take on that role. In episode 4, we saw them working together to watch over Wednesday, and that will continue. According to the director, Agnes was introduced to create a trio dynamic with the leads. The character was also created to deliver an important message to viewers. I'll read you the director's statement. Agnes brings us a very important message: to be yourself, even if you feel you don't always fit in. It's okay to stand out and be different, which is very impactful for my generation. This is revealing. We still don't know anything about Agnes's past, but with this statement, we can understand that she's a girl who doesn't fit in and hides because of it. Remember, she can make herself invisible, and she constantly uses that power to conceal herself. She's a girl who makes great efforts to fit in. That's why, in the early episodes, we saw her trying to impress Wednesday. She wants to be accepted as a friend. But if the director's words come true, Agnes's character arc will show her maturing and accepting herself. Most likely, by the end of part 2, we'll see Agnes overcoming her obsession with Wednesday and showing her own true talents. Let's talk about the romantic future of the series. In season 1, a romantic relationship between Wednesday and Tyler was teased, but in part 2, this has been completely removed. According to the production team, in season 2, they want to avoid romantic themes for the protagonist, so Wednesday will focus solely on solving criminal cases. Enid will carry the romantic subplot for the entire season. That's why there's a love triangle between her, Bruno, and Ajax. This will continue in part 2. We will also see a significant development between Ajax and Bianca. In episode 4, we saw how Ajax helped her escape Nevermore, and together they solved the problem with her mother. Bianca has always been a somewhat cold girl who never received support. That's why Ajax's support is so important to her. This could result in a very interesting romantic relationship. Also, the two of them discovered Headmaster Barry Dort in a suspicious phone call. We'll probably see Ajax and Bianca investigating this case, and of course, growing closer. We still need to talk about something important. The big villain of part 2. In the first half of the season, the main villain was the hooded figure, whose identity was revealed. It was Judy Stonehurst. Wednesday dismantled her operation in the asylum. She's still alive, but has lost everything, so she won't be dangerous in the future. They will likely introduce a new, more powerful villain. My bet is on Headmaster Barry Dort. This character has been quite strange since we first met him. In one scene, Bianca caught him having a strange conversation on the phone. It's clear he's hiding something. Supposedly, he's only interested in restoring Nevermore's glory, but that's surely a facade. He wants to do something with the outcasts. Also, he's played by Steve Buscemi, a highly acclaimed actor, so he couldn't just be a simple character. He has to do something important in the future. To me, it's possible he'll be the big villain of season 2, but they're keeping that under wraps for now. Lastly, I'm sure we'll see the return of Aunt Ophelia. According to what we're told, she was Morticia's sister and disappeared many years ago. In the season finale, we see Wednesday rescuing an unknown woman and taking her out of the asylum. Nothing is said about this woman, but I believe she could be Aunt Ophelia. In the season, we were told that Ophelia had powers similar to Wednesday's, but one day she began abusing them, which caused severe damage to her body. Grandmama Adams locked her in Willow Hill Asylum, but eventually, Ophelia disappeared from the place without a trace. That was 15 years ago, and no one ever heard from her again. With this context, we can suspect she was captured by Gus Stonehurst. Most likely, the scientist locked her up to experiment on her. This would perfectly explain her disappearance. Of course, this is just my theory. I really do believe this woman is Ophelia, and she doesn't recognize Wednesday because she disappeared when our protagonist was just a baby. What do you think of this theory? That's all for today. If you liked the video, you'd really help me out by leaving a like. That would be legendary. Also, remember to subscribe to see more videos like this. Thanks for listening. My name is Charlie, and I'll see you in the future.